All right, we've been talking a lot about growth goals for 2024, and one area that we felt like needs a little more attention is raising rates because a lot of MSPs just don't do it. Now, there's two areas we're going to focus on for this raising rate section, and that's inflation. We're going to use consumer price index as our measure of inflation and pricing debt. Now, if we start with consumer price index or inflation, we can see we've had some pretty decent increases since 2021. And that's resulted in $100 in 2021 would cost us 121.54 today. So if we're still charging 20 or 21 rates, we're losing out on a large percentage of revenue by default just by not keeping up with inflation. Now, the inflation side is pretty easy to manage. It's a number that we can look and define and add to our pricing, and no one really questions it. Pricing debt can be a little more challenging. And how do we know if we have a pricing debt issue or not? Is our metrics, right? Our KPIs. Are we hitting the numbers that we would expect to hit for things like agreement gross profit, W 2 multiple, hourly rate, product margin, and project margin? If we have KPIs set for those and we're doing everything well and we're really knocking it out of the park, but we're just not hitting our numbers, we may have some pricing debt that we have to attack. Now comes what feels like the hardest part, actually increasing rates. There's a couple ways to do this, right? The easiest that we've found is to build into your agreements the right to increase prices up to 3% over consumer price index. This gives you the ability to keep up with inflation while also tackling minimal pricing debt. If you have a major pricing debt issue, if you're really underpriced, there's no better time than now just to rip the band-aid off and change pricing. It's hard, it's a tough conversation, but at the end of the day, if you're doing great work and you're delivering great services, your clients will understand. You may lose a few, but at the end of the day, you'll be at a pricing point that allows you to grow in the future. I'm Jim Peterson, Principal Solution Advisor at ConnectWise, and if you have any problems with this, hit us up. We're here to help.